Hello everyone, welcome to part 21 module 1 computer networks. So we are now discussing the reference models, particularly the ISO OSI reference model, which is a 7-layer model, and we already seen the layers of the model. The International Standards Organization ISO, the Open System Interconnection Model. Now we already seen there were 7 layers, and the question is why such 7 layers. So for that I am taking your attention towards the functionalities of computer networks. That is something that we already discussed. We have a number of mandatory functionalities, and out of them few were listed here, and these things we saw what it is in a brief manner, and of course we will see each one of them in detail in the subsequent modules. And we have some functionality which are optional, in the sense even though it is not there, still the computer network concept is possible, but if you are adding them like quality of service, security, that will be an additional feature, okay, like that. But as of now, most of these optional functionalities are also part of the computer network, just like a mandatory one. So now the thing is that so you've seen some set of function like here 6 mandatory and say around 6 optional functionalities we discussed, but it is not the case actually. There are around 70 plus such mandatory and optional functionalities that is to be implemented as part of the computer network. When you implement that software part of the computer network, but all the 70 are we don't have to go in that much detailed research way. So the most important one out of those 70 were discussed, and these things we may be seeing in detail in our subsequent session also. But when it comes to the implementation, if you keep on listing like this, there are around 70 plus such functionalities are there. So what people thought is how to implement these 70. They can either go for a monolithic architecture, like the initial version of the Unix operating system, or the other, even Windows also, the initial versions of the operating system, if you are looking at the code, they follow something called a monolithic architecture. But that means everything is coming under a single procedure, that kind of a single entry exit, and without any abstraction, nothing, okay. But later they started thinking of this abstraction and all, and they move on to that or they finalized that layered architecture to be implemented. And why 7 layers is in the sense those 70 function they thought of dividing in the best way or they started grouping the set of functions into one layer. And as we already seen, the number of layers should not be too large or it should not be too less, okay. But and there should be some optimal way of doing that. So what people done is like the 70 you are dividing 10 each. It is not like that. Those functionality which when grouped together they perform well, so in that way, so which are to be provided at a particular level were grouped into a single layer. So that is the idea. For example, if you are looking at this error control, this error control is something that is happening at the data link layer. I hope you remember the layers, and this detail we will see: physical layer, data link layer, network layer, the transport layer, session, presentation, application layer. So that data link layer, we are doing this error control, and also we are doing this error control in the transport layer. And maybe if you want, you can do it more than other than these 2 layers also, but this is the practical scenario. It is enough to do it in the 2 layers, because the transport layer is taking care of end-to-end communication, and that we will see, where this data link layer is the one that is taking care of the hop-to-hop communication. So at every hop we are doing error control, and also between the sender and receiver in an end-to-end manner also we are providing error control. So that is the thing. Similarly, flow control is also happening in the data link layer and transport layer. This access control is mainly for data link layer. Congestion control is a core activity that is happening in network layer, but in some architectures it is being implemented as part of transport layer, particularly the TCP, the transport layer protocol. If you are using TCP as a transport layer protocol, it is doing congestion control also. And multiplexing, demultiplexing, it is again happening at different levels. Addressing, the physical addressing and data link layer is taken care. Then logical addressing, the IP addressing is taken care by the network layer and the port addressing. I think I just given a brief idea about these things. It's taken care by the transport layer. So like that is also happening at multiple levels. And routing, the core activity of network layer, in the networking, ordering, fragmentation, reassembly, again network layer. The quality of service is also, means these things are optional only, but if you are implementing, it is actually a part of network layer. Then security, encryption, decryption, compression, decompression, checkpoint, these things are normally coming as part of the presentation layer. Okay, depends whether you want, how you want to present the data, whether you want to be present the data in a encrypted manner or compressed manner, or you want this have this feature of checkpointing, maybe implemented at the higher layer. So this is the overall idea, but we will see each layer and its functionality, and that time these things will be clear into your mind. So these functionality, around 70 plus such functionality, we grouped into 7 layers. And this is a figure I taken from your Tannenbaum textbook. So the same layering concept here, it is just shown both at the sender and the receiver side. For example, host A is trying to communicate with the host B, and this host A will go through all the 7 layers, and B also supposed to go through all these 7 layers. Okay, so the layers numbering is like this. The lowest layer, physical layer, is known to be layer 1. Okay, that also you can keep in your mind. And application layer is layer 7. So like that. And in between 2 layers we have the interface, and between the layers we have the protocol, application layer protocols, presentation layer protocol, session protocol, transfer protocol. And these lower 3 layers are normally, they are dealing with the communication subnet boundary, in the sense the higher 4 layers are end to end layers. Okay, so it is taken care of the complete things, means once you start sending the data, ultimately whether it is received at the end point of communication or not, if it is received at the end point of communication, whether it is received in the right way, whether the flow is under control, whether there is any error. So error control, flow control, all those things are happening at between the end to end machine, I mean end to end manner, in the higher layers. Particularly that is taken care by the so called transport layer. And when you look into this lower 3 layer, they are actually hosted to subnet or subnet boundary layers, in the sense they are just taken care of the activity when you start sending the data, whether it is correctly received by the next hop, in the sense we are passing our information through a part of the network, we can call it as a subnetwork. Okay, so the figure shows the subnet boundary, in the sense this is a point where the information from your machine is entering into the subnet, and this is where it is leaving and it is reaching the destination. So in between there will be a number of intermediate devices and a number of hops the particular information has to go through. And between one hop to other, or from the host, the sender machine, to the nearest next hop machine, whether things are happening fine. And once it is reaching the next hop, from that hop, that particular device to its next hop, whether everything is going fine. Even error control, flow control, everything you can do at the hop to hop level. And these lower 3 layers were together achieving this. So we can call them as the host to subnet layer. So they are dealing with the process of, means once you start sending the information, how correctly the information enter into the subnet boundary, and inside the subnet boundary from one hop to another, the careful observation of the data transfer, and finally how the information is coming out from the subnet boundary and it is reaching the destination. That kind of a careful observation is being done by the lower 3 layers. So we call them as the host to subnetwork layers, and the upper 4 layers are known to be the end to end layer. Okay, and accordingly we have the physical layer, host to router protocol. Router, in the sense here the entry point of the subnet, let there be an intermediate device, and that device can be as we already seen, it can be a gateway, router, or switch. So here it is taken assuming to be a router as a general terminology. It is just a switching device. So once you send the data, what is the maybe it is the internet service provider of your service provider, say their gateway, or it can be some other routers. Okay, so the very nearest relay point, so when you start sending, who is taking your data for the very first time, and he will be relaying it to the next one, and he will pick it and relay to the next one, and finally it will be reaching the destination. So in that way the communication is happening, right? That relaying is what we call as hop, one hop to another. So here you can see that the protocols are mainly dealing with the host to subnet communication, or the entry point of the subnet, let it be a router. So the data link layer host to router protocols. Similarly, network layer host to router protocol, and physical layer host to router protocols were running at this point, where these protocols were running between the end machine, let's say the application protocol, presentation session, and at the rightmost side you can see the name of unit exchanged. So in general we call this unit of exchange between one hop to another hop, or between the end systems, as a protocol data unit. Here PDU means protocol data unit. Okay, or simply just like in the basic building block of programming language we call it as a token, right? A similar terminology. The basic unit of information that is being communicated in a particular layer is what we call as that layer's protocol data unit. So here you can see A for application protocol data unit, presentation protocol data unit, session protocol data unit, transport layer or transfer protocol data unit, network protocol data unit. It is having a general name, packet. And see, this packet, you should not be confused. Sometimes in this textbook, and if you refer some other textbook, people are using this terminology packet for the protocol data unit of any layer. In general, we can use the term packet. Even for a frame, you can use the term packet. If you are using, that is not a mistake. The application layer protocol data unit, you can call it as a packet, no problem. But more specifically, the terminology packet is actually for the network layer protocol data unit. Okay, and similarly when it comes to data link layer protocol data unit, it is having a special name, frame. Similarly for the physical layer, the basic unit of information it is taken care is the bit, the binary digit. That is the protocol data unit of physical layer. So that is the thing. Now if you are looking at the application layer protocol data unit, presentation layer protocol data unit, and session layer protocol data unit, mostly they are the message itself. So we can call them as message. Even I saw on a previous gate question where they are asking what is the name given for the application layer protocol data unit, something like that, and the answer was given like message. So simply you can call the protocol data unit of the higher 3 layer as message, because it is not the message as a whole is a single unit for the higher layer, and or it is not actually getting decomposed into smaller units. The actual decomposition is happening at the transport layer, because transport layer can't handle data beyond a limit. So if your message is of higher size than this limit, it will be dividing accordingly. And sometimes we use the term segment, the transport layer segment, for the protocol data unit associated with the transport layer. So rather than the information given in the figure, I mentioned 2 more protocol data unit, the terminology message and segment. The message is associated with the application, presentation and session layer. The higher 3 layer protocol data unit, we can simply call them as messages. And for transport layer, the segment you can use like a transport layer protocols, TCP and UDP, TCP segment, UDP segment, like that you can call them. And similarly network layer protocol unit, the packet, data link layer protocol unit, frame, and physical layer protocol data unit, bit. Okay, hope you got a overview of this. Now this is something again I want to highlight, the different levels of communication. Somewhere I am trying to convey you this, but I thought of showing a figure so that it will be very clear in your mind. So similar, just like what we seen in the previous diagram, we are having a communication between 2 machines. Let me call the machines as host. So from host A, the communication is happening towards host B. So that is a destination. Now if you look into this particular communication, second, I'm getting a call. Yes. If you look into this communication, as I already told you, the actual communication is happening between 2 processors residing at the machines. in the sense, at the sender side we have a number of it's just a machine only, right? So the program in execution is what we call as is let's continue. In between there is a break. The communication is actually happening between two machines, host A and host B. So in effect it is between two processes residing at these two machines. So here you can see that within this machine a number of processes were running, and out of them one of the process is actually trying to communicate with the destination process. Okay, so similarly here also this may be trying to communicate with some, maybe this may be trying to communicate with the Gmail server, let it be, and this may be trying to communicate with say some other your Yahoo server, whatever it is. Okay, it is going like this. Now if you look at this communication scenario as a whole, here you can see mainly three levels of communication. So one, you can focus on the actual the communication between the actual endpoints, that is the process, right? The process to process connection or the communication, or we can call it as end to end communication also, end to end communication, and which is being handled by the transport layer. So the transport layer, the main responsibility is to make sure that between the end processes the ultimate form of communication happens correctly, and it is not taken care of the intermediate things and all. It will just ensure whether the data being sent by the sender process is correctly received by the receiving process, and whether their speed, all those things were okay, and if not, accordingly it will report or it will try to rectify. Now if you are looking at the actual machine to machine communication, right, it's actual communication is between processes, but to the next abstract level you can view the communication as communication happening between the sender machine to the receiver machine, and this part is taken care by the network layer. So network layers will simply means the main responsibility network layer is routing, right? So what is happening in routing? It will take the IP address of the destination machine. The machine is given the IP address, but inside the machine we have the processes, and the processes were identified by some kind of process identifier, and in the network terminology we call this process identifier as a port number. Okay, so the network layer will not look into this port number or the port address. It will see the IP address of the destination machine, and it will choose the most optimal path to reach the destination, and finally it will help the packet to reach somewhere to the destination machine. But once it reaches the destination machine, by looking at the port number, it is to be delivered to the correct process, and that is up to the transport layer. So transport layer is the one that is extending to the extremes. Okay, so when it comes to network layer, it is not going up to the actual delivery of information into the process, but it will taken care of the communication up to the destination machine. And a more detailed way, if you are looking, you can see that the communication is actually happening between the machine to the next hop. Similarly, its next hop to its next hop, like that. That means between this A and B there will be a number of intermediate devices. We can call them as a router, but that is a general terminology. Again, router is specifically a machine or a switching device. So the more accurate term is a switching device. Okay, switching device that is capable of running a routing algorithm. But still, if it is not running the routing algorithm, it is capable of doing the communication. So it's enough to have a switching element at this point, but if you are using router or gateway, the functionality given by it will be more. So that is the thing. Now if you look at the communication from this source, sender host to the its next hop, let me call it as a hop to hop communication. Similarly, this router to the its next, or this router to its next. So it's in general called a hop to hop communication that is taken care by the data link layer. So data link layer is actually doing the most minute detail of communication, where in an abstract level at the top we have the transport layer that is taken care that is taken care of the process to process communication. So this you can remember from now onwards. The process to process communication, that is the end to end communication, is taken care by transport layer. The host to host or the machine to machine communication by network layer. The hop to connection management is by the data link layer. And application layer will taken care of the presentation of the data and other things, like it is the one which is having direct interaction with the user, and from the user it will take the data, all those interfaces, everything is part of the application layer. And the same thing is there at the sender and the receiver. And then the main one is a transport layer. Then we have the network layer and data link layer. And particularly below we have the physical layer, which is taking care of the bit by bit communication of the data. Okay, that about the scenario. Thank you.